Most people think early retirement is only for the super wealthy or those with expensive financial advisors. But here's a question. Can AI replace a financial advisor? I put ChatGPT to the test in this video with the one question we all want answered. How can I retire in 10 years? The answer is going to blow your mind. So here's what happened. Let's be real. The average American is far from prepared for retirement. According to a recent survey, nearly 60% of Americans have less than $50,000 saved for retirement. And here's the truth, 25% don't have any savings at all. For most people, the idea of retiring, let alone in 10 years, it feels super impossible. It's not because they don't want to retire early. It's because no one has shown them how. And when the median household income is around $68,000, the typical advice of just save more,
maybe you could save 50% or more on life insurance. They got 5-star reviews.
it feels like a joke, right? But then I started thinking, what if there was another way? What if AI like ChatGPT could help everyday people like you and I map out a path to retire in 10 years, even with a modest income? That's what I set out to find. So I asked ChatGPT the $1 million question. Actually, the $1.5 million question. How can the average person retire in 10 years? I expected a breakthrough, something revolutionary, but instead I got the usual generic BS advice. Diversify your portfolio, invest in low-cost index funds, max out your 401k, yawn. It sounded like every blog post and financial guru I'd ever heard. It was like ChatGPT was reading straight from the script of every financial advisor on the planet. No new insights, no hidden gems, just the same advice I'd heard 100 times before. And that sure as heck was not gonna get you or me to retirement in 10 years. Because let's be honest, if that advice worked for most people, we wouldn't have 64% of Americans worried they'll never save enough to retire. I needed more than this cookie cutter approach. I needed something specific, actionable, tailored to real life. Anyone else? Holla at your boy. Actually, smash that like if you're feeling this, all right? So I started wondering, was ChatGPT just another overhyped tool, or was I asking the wrong questions? After hitting one dead end after another, I realized maybe it wasn't about ChatGPT failing me. Maybe it was about how I was using it. Here's the thing, sometimes it's not about having all the answers, it's about asking the right questions. A small shift in perspective can change everything. So I went back to ChatGPT and I took a new angle. What would you do if you had only 10 years to retire and you were starting from scratch? I laid out all the details. Typical salary, average savings, debts, stuff most people in the real world have to deal with. Holla! And this time, the response felt different. See, instead of the usual stock market advice, ChatGPT broke down a plan that looked at the big picture. It wasn't just a list of options, it was the kind of strategy that could actually change someone's financial future. I finally felt like I had something real, something tangible, something that could actually work for the average person, not just Wall Street pros. But still, the responses were too broad, like consider a mix of real estate, stocks, and bonds, or balance your risk depending on your comfort level. Yawn, what the f? Come on. There was nothing I could actually act on. That's when the doubt started creeping in. Could ChatGPT really help? I'd heard all the hype, all the claims about how it could change the game, but so far it felt like I was just getting theoretic advice. The average American has about $70,000 in retirement, and most aren't even sure how they'll make it to 65, let alone retire early. The doubt crept in. Was I chasing an impossible dream? Could ChatGPT really deliver, or was it just another overhyped tool? I almost gave up, but then I realized maybe it wasn't about what I was asking, but how I was asking it. I had been looking for a magic answer, like some golden investment that would solve all my problems. But the truth was, I needed more than that. I needed a comprehensive plan that fit my life, your finances, your timeline, right? Are you feeling me? This wasn't just about throwing money into stocks or bonds. I had to think bigger, beyond. One size fits all advice did not work. This is retiring in 10 years, not just retiring in 10 years. It's a big task. And for the first time, I could see a path forward that made early retirement feel achievable for so many. Instead of just asking ChatGPT what to invest in, I had to reframe my approach. Clearly, asking for generic investment tips, it wasn't cutting it. It wasn't gonna do jack or squat. I needed specifics tailored to this situation. So I decided to switch things up and laid out my goals much more clearly. Financial independence, stability, flexibility. I didn't just want to know where to put my money. I needed a full roadmap to make this dream a reality. That small shift changed everything. So I asked ChatGPT, what would a realistic 10-year plan look like for a 35-year-old earning $55,000 with moderate savings and some debt? And this time it was different. ChatGPT didn't just spit out some cookie cutter advice. It outlined a roadmap, step by step, down to the numbers, aggressive savings, specific investment strategies, and how to leverage my income. Suddenly, the dream of retiring in 10 years didn't seem so far-fetched. It was like I had found a secret weapon, one that was actually working with me, not just talking at me. If you know what I mean? With my new approach, ChatGPT's response was finally what I'd been searching for. And for the first time, I felt a spark of hope. No, it wasn't perfect and it still wasn't a magic bullet, but I finally had something concrete to work with. It wasn't some vague suggestion to invest in stocks and bonds. No, this time it was a detailed, actionable plan that took the reality I had provided of a regular American into account. It broke everything down. How to tackle the debt head on, which side hustles could actually move the needle, and where to direct savings to get the highest returns. It even identified specific industries with growth potential from a career perspective, fields I hadn't even considered before, like data science and cybersecurity. And it got even better. ChatGPT outlined a strategy for aggressive investing, an 80-20 split between high growth stocks and real estate. It showed how to leverage low-cost index funds for stability while using crypto as a high-risk, high-reward play. It even highlighted how to use dollar-cost averaging to minimize risk and how to shift my strategy over time to adapt to changing market conditions. Doesn't this sound great? The plan wasn't easy though. It laid out some very tough choices, like living well below my means, cutting back on almost everything that wasn't a priority. It meant sacrificing comforts now to build a future where you wouldn't need to worry about money. And let's be real here, people. If most Americans aren't going to be able to retire, retiring in 10 years, to think that you can just sit there watching YouTube videos and streaming Netflix is going to change your life is a bunch of baloney. It requires drastic change, right? We're talking about getting crazy results. And let's be real, to get crazy results means you gotta be just a little bit crazy yourself. But the clarity it brought made the sacrifices feel worth it. For once, I could see how the numbers would actually add up, how paying down debt aggressively in the first 3 years would free up significant cash flow that someone could funnel straight into investments. And ChatGPT didn't leave me hanging with the basics. It dug into the details that real financial advisors charge thousands for. It explained how to optimize your 401k contributions and why maxing out a Roth IRA may not be the smartest move given the age I provided, and even how to pick ETFs that aligned with the market trends over the next decade. It was like all those vague financial tips you hear about finally snapped into focus for ChatGPT, turning it into a real roadmap that anyone could follow. Suddenly, the stress and uncertainty were replaced with the sense of control. It was still a massive challenge with risk, but now it felt possible. It wasn't just about saving for retirement anymore. It was about building a plan that fits someone's reality step by step, knowing that every step they took today would bring them closer to that future. The roadmap ChatGPT provided made one thing absolutely clear. You can retire in 10 years starting today. And the advice it gave felt more insightful than what most financial expert planners would ever share. With the right moves, the dream of financial freedom is right here. And it all started with a few simple prompts. Now smash that subscribe, turn on notifications to make sure you catch the next video where I discuss every detail of this roadmap and insight in extreme detail. And I will take my time to teach them all for free. Now, if this video got you thinking about how to take control of your financial future without spending thousands on financial advisors, then you're in the right place. Don't miss out on the chance to learn more about how AI can help you build a path to early retirement. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and check out the next video where we dive deeper into the exact roadmap ChatGPT provided. You don't want to miss it. Keep working toward your goals. When you don't quit, you win. And remember, I'll see you in the next video. You keep living your life to the fullest. Peace.